So, anywho, um, he said, you got your house that's here in your name. You don't got to go through this. The mortgage is did. You should be able to handle that if you get a job. Da 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 da. Boom boom boom. So cool. He making it seem like I can come out there and meet my family good. So I literally uplift my type. I'm like, yo, let's go. And at the same time, the her she has two baby fathers, before me. So at the same time, her second child's father had just hit her with court papers. So it was kind of working out. I'm like, listen, you got to go to court. My pops got this crib for us. Let's just move back to New York, right? We're gonna make more bread out there anyway. So we moved back, and I'm there. I'm like, all right, Dad, I'm here. Like, so what's the situation when the tenant's gonna live? That. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, for the house. He's like, what house? I'm like, the house that you said, I could move into with the family. He's like, who? Basically, he tried to say he never said that, bro. I literally about lost it. Like at the time, this phrase did not exist, but I about crashed out. I did. I snapped. I was like, you had me uplift my family. Bro, it was just so terrible. And then now we're at her mom's house. We're supposed to be there temporarily. And then now I'm like, what are we gonna say? Because like what are we gonna do? We can't go back to Florida. We don't got the money for that. Like it was crazy. And so like we ended up having to like tell her mom, like, we're gonna have to figure it out because yeah, like my dad kind of just, yeah, this is the situation. Mm. So anyway, we ended up, she gave us the okay to stay there. It just wasn't the best situation though. Like we really had to get it together. Like I had to hurt. No, none of it was working. And how the dynamic was, I mean, it had great moments until it wasn't. Like, and let me say this: these same people now are the closest people to me. Like they are family. They're like you. The only things that separate us is blood, bro, because we are truly connected. Like these are some of the best people in my life right now. But in the beginning, it was rough. The relationship was rough. Like it was me and my wife, or at the time girlfriend, her sister and her boyfriend, her two little sisters, and her mother. Boy, it was a full house with different personalities, bunch of crazy people. And yeah, I mean, it went from lots of laughter and joy and fun times to not so fun. And we was like, yeah, we got to get up out of here. It's too toxic, right? And so, and it wasn't not, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. It was just a toxic environment. Honestly, that's just the truth of the matter. And so, anyway, you know, I finally get this job. I end up working at this place called Russo's in the Bay. Best job I ever had, like hands down, like best job. Like I'm talking about best job, best boss I've ever worked for. Like I've worked for a lot of good people. I would say he's definitely top three in the number one spot. Like Mr. Russo, if you ever see this video, shout out to you, hands down, one of the best boss, very inspirational. I still look up to you, and I just thank you. Thank you so much for believing in me. But anywho, um, I just, we got a job, and then we ended up moving out to my cousin's house. I mean, not my cousin's house, a family member's house in upstate New York after the baby shower. Now, let me give you some details of some crazy situations before this baby shower and some red flags before this, because at this time we were married, right? So when we first moved to New York, no, we were not married. Everything happened in, I would say, 5 months of us moving to New York, right? So we moved to New York, situation happened. She's in court with her baby father. Here are the situations. Here are the red flags. I knew something was up because her and this dude, they were fighting. All of a sudden, he gives her what she wants. She gets custody, no problem. Just now they're hanging out. Like I'm like, yeah, that was a flip. I'm like, well, you sure nothing happened? My dad even told me like, nah. Verbatimly, my father said she's still messing with him. I said, no, she not. No, she not. Like, how would she have the time to do that? Like da 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 da. Right? He said, okay. Like, why else? Like that just sounds fishy. How the court case just end like that? Da 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 da. I'm like, God, that's how. And I'm like, whatever. But I did start to speculate as well, but I didn't want to create a problem where I felt like there wasn't a problem. But I asked, I definitely brought it to her, like, yo, you sure nothing going on between you and your baby father? No, why would you say that? I said, because like I don't understand why you're hanging out, you're pregnant, like what you're making your daughter think as if like um as if like y'all are still together. That's not a good look. Da da da. Like you have another man's baby. She's making it feel like she's like, oh, you're insecure. There's nothing going on with me and him. Like I don't even like him like that. Da da da. What would make you say that? Like I have no more respect for you. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. But deep down inside, I knew something was going on. The Holy Spirit. Let me tell you something. Yes, I was not in the best place with God, but at the end of the day, I already said yes to him a long time ago. Once you say yes, the Holy Spirit's with you, right? Now it is on you to listen. But what we tend to do is like when we're not fully walking with him, we pick and choose when we want to listen to him, right? And that was a moment where so many times I did not listen to him when he told me, stop, this is not it. You're off track. You're getting distracted. I have a lot in store for you. Stop what you're doing. But no, I didn't listen. Why? I'm gonna tell you what I was blinded by. We trauma bonded. We had the best sex. I'm talking about like sex was amazing. And we connected in so many levels. Like she was a church girl, I was a church boy. She was in a choir, I was in a choir. You know, d- like the same type of music, both from the Caribbean. Similar circle, similar background. Um, yeah, I mean, it was a good invite. We like I said, trauma bonded. We went through a lot of the same things, and it was a good relationship until it wasn't. And so, like a lot of those things blinded the red flag, the many red flags and the signs that I was receiving. And let me tell you something: when God speaks to you, He speaks to you in many different ways through His Word, through people, through music, through shows, through movies, through videos, signs. You know what I'm saying? But we'll ignore all those things when we want something, when we want to live according to our will instead of His will, right? So that was my first mistake. And so, well, not first mistake, one of my many mistakes. And so, anyway. Um, I just ignored it. It is what it is. Now, moving on. Another thing that happened before we got married. I remember she tells me she's going out with a friend. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I was very protective at that moment because she was pregnant. You know what I'm talking about? Like at this time, probably like about 5, 6 months, 6 months in of being pregnant. And I'm like, you just to be careful out there, whatever. So then, you know, the friend that she was going out with was supposed to be bartending for our baby shower, and I was planning the baby shower. So I'm an event planner, by the way. So I'm planning a baby shower, and you know, I had questions about the bar. So I'm like, oh, she's with that friend. Let me just call, and talk to her. So I'm like, I call her. I'm like, yo, let me talk to your friend real quick. I gotta ask some questions. She's being mad weird. She's like, oh, we're having a girls' night out, and she just had a breakup with her boyfriend, and she's not feeling good. She doesn't want to talk. I'm like, okay, but you didn't even ask her. Like you're just, oh, she's like, well, I just know she's not going to talk because she's just not in the mood. I'm like, okay, well, ask her. So she asked her, and then I didn't hear her respond. All she said was, yeah, she's just not in the mood to speak. I'm like, okay, that's odd. Like I just got to ask her a quick question. I'm like, bro, all right. So I didn't think much of it. I'm like, cool. So me, I'm a very persistent person sometimes, So I get off the phone. I'm like, nah, that just something in my spirit's like something's wrong. And so then I'm going back to plan. I'm like, I just gotta ask this question. Like it's not that difficult. So I call her back. I'm like, yo, just put me on FaceTime. Let me ask her because she just gotta say yes or no, right? She's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, but why are you whispering? She's like, oh, I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, so but why are you whispering? She's like, because I don't need people in my conversation. I'm like, so what? Whatever. I said, just call me back when you get to the table. So she doesn't call me back. So now I'm like, nah, something's up. So I call her and I'm like, yo, this put her on FaceTime. She's like, I'm not doing that. You're making this weird. And I'm like, nah, you're making this weird, right? So then at that time we had each other's locations, right? And we also had rules. So we had each other's location, and there also we had a rule was like if we ever wanted to look through each other's phone, we're not supposed to do it without permission. We would just have to ask, but we can't say no. And we had each other's passcode anyway. So cool. So anyway, so I looked at her location. Her location's off.